What's poppin', y'all? My name is Prime, and this is Prime Time. Our topic for today is going to be spiritual. Spiritual number 2. Let's get it.
All right. So we need to understand what personal sovereignty is. It's almost the equivalent of like, you don't need to know how to get through your happy moments. You need to know how to get through your toughest moments. To have personal sovereignty, you need to understand yourself. You need to understand how you function. That is personal sovereignty. Being able to understand your function and the way that you work. But a lot of people tend to be attached to the idea of they would rather have all the moments in their life be happy instead of going through endless amounts of suffering around them, so this way they turn into something better. It's almost the equivalent of what's happening today. We have a lot of instances where so many people want to live in their comfort zone that they refuse to even hear something that goes against their dogma. For instance, let's say I go to school and I'm seeing a kid getting bullied. Am I getting mad at the fact that he's bullying? No, I'm not getting mad at the fact that he's bullying, but rather I get mad at the idea of it being me that could either be on that end or even doing the action. That is why you feel the disgust. But a lot of people tend to take the surface for the disgust of what it is. It's just like, just get the fuck out. Like, why are you doing this? Or what is your purpose? What do you serve? Like, they will project all these feelings without really truly understanding even the bully's perspective. Why? Why is he beating his ass? Maybe you talked some smack. Maybe it just so happened that you walked in on a bad situation that you probably never acknowledged, or everybody around it was previously acknowledging it, but still would never even have these conversations with themselves. They would just rather say, stop it. Stop it. Like, no, you can't tell people to stop. You cannot tell anybody to change the direction of their energy. You have to motivate them. You have to make it seem as if it is a necessity for them to change their energy. And yeah, you could talk about crime and all that, but if you did that, it's the equivalent of telling a drug dealer that's bad of how he's making his money. Bro, he's making his money. How is that going to be bad for him if he's just making money? He's never been caught. He doesn't have these other external issues. Maybe he was already caught and can't get a job. It's almost his method of survival. So to tell him that he's wrong is in similar route. People need to be able to reflect inward when they start seeing these situations around them. This is all going off of personal sovereignty. You want 90% of your life to be tough. If you don't have a tough life and everything around you is comfortable, you are going to turn into a sissy. It is inevitable. I'm sorry, you can try to clown yourself into thinking otherwise, but nobody gets through happy moments. They live in those happy moments. They get through the tough. Why? Because it's an actual journey to go through. Happiness just so happens to be contentness with your overall situation, surroundings at that moment. But it's like always expecting Christmas for 300 days out of the 365. And then how many days is Christmas? 1. So you were anticipating 1 day out of those 300 days, but then you start to lose sight of those 300 days because you don't want to think about those 300 days. Those 300 days are ass. There's nothing happening in those 300 days. But then you think of, oh, well, Christmas, I'm happy. I'm great. All these presents and family and people, they're coming in. You don't want to dwell on your happy moments because you're going to be endlessly just waiting for those moments when in reality, all those happy moments could have been a journey for you to grow, for you to turn into the real being that you're supposed to be. But that's something to meditate on. We're going to go and continue. Self-discipline to thrive. We count on people too much to help ourselves. That's true. I'll go back to that bullying example. The kid or the person that's getting bullied, he's just taking it. He hates himself. He hates himself. He hates his bully. He hates everything around him. But what does he do to mitigate that situation? Is he punching him in the face? Hell no. He's just taking it. Or is he trying to leave his situation? Is he trying to seek external help, maybe from... No. Because at the end of the day, it's not discipline. Like, yeah, we can take the easy route, but we're not disciplining ourselves to handle these situations that we know are bad, that we know are toxic. So, first thing, I guess, from what I have on my notes, is we need to have some self-discipline to thrive. If we're not trying to thrive, if we're not finding ways to suffer so we can thrive, then we just become content with our life. And if you're content, why aren't you dead? Like, yeah, you're enjoying the moment, but why aren't you dead? Because at that point, you're content. You can now die. You can now just be like, oh, this is it. Right here. Just let it go and I'll be fine. No, because you're never actually content. If you were really content, you would be fine with the idea of dying on the spot. But no, you're not content because there's always something in the back of your mind that knows there's something that needs to be fixed. That knows there's something that's out of whack in your world. And that's why we're here to go and get. We want to start the prerogative to be something better. If we're fine with where we're at, then believe me, you are stagnant. You are literally calm water and you need to start jostling that shit a little bit. Make a splash. Do something so that way you can step out of your world. But you don't. Maybe not all of you, but majority you don't. Because you're content with your life. But anyways, people need to know that others are doing amazing feats in order to inspire them when they see no path. A lot of times, because we don't necessarily step out of our world, we don't get to see the amazing accomplishments that really are coming out. And a lot of times, those amazing accomplishments are what drive the new generation or the new people to do more amazing feats. So let's use an example. If Elon Musk was working in General Motors, let's just say hypothetically, if he were to be working at General Motors and then decided to stay with General Motors, he wouldn't be the second top billionaire right now. Known billionaire. There's still people that have stupid amounts of money we don't even know about. But if he had stayed on that little tier, he wouldn't be anywhere. He would still be doing the same work. And everybody around him, like, yes, that's still a job, but you can't notice your potential when you're stuck stagnant in the same location. His brain would have never just spent all that time thinking of solar energy. It would have never spent time thinking of how to innovate batteries. He stepped out of his world for a moment to think about the problems that are always constantly occurring. And then he didn't let a single person tell him no. He didn't let a single person go and say, oh, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. He probably did, but he's rich now. He's gotten where he needs to be. And maybe there's some big bubble that might collapse, but he could still say that he was richer than Bill Gates. He could still say that he was richer than almost like all these crazy, crazy billionaires, trillionaires. Like, you can't allow yourself to be stagnant. I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. This is already getting a little long. But anyways, y'all need to be able to step out of your comfort zones in order for you to become better. In order to become better, we need to even look at ourselves in order to thrive. But in the same instance is that we're always willing to point fingers first without pointing fingers to the person that really matters. You. I would have never made this video if for some reason I'd never tell myself that I had to. I was enjoying my son that I was just chilling outside with. But I have to make this video because somebody needs to hear this. But today's a good day, fellas.
Go get some sun today.
Peace.